Back in the Bay State, 3 Springfield police officers were at a Celtics game last week for working in saving the life of an infant earlier this year. Officers Josue Cruz, Luis Delgado, and Francisco Luna were honored as heroes among us during last Thursday's home game against the Detroit Pistons. Heroes Among Us recognizes people who have made exceptional contributions to their community. And these 3 officers saved a 3-month-old baby in medical distress back in April. Their teamwork and quick response made it so the baby made a full recovery.